Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the. Well, that was frickin' awkward. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I'm having a shit night, so I guess it's not exactly out of my way for the camera to not work until I stopped it and started again. Whatever. Back on track. Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 13th of January episode of my beautiful live stream. Specifically the Bevies, Blades, and Bushcraft live stream, where we got us beverages, we got us some blades, and we usually do talk about bushcrafty stuff. Tonight, I wanted to do some planning talk with you guys to see what, what my upcoming interviews or panel discussions should be. I think I've got a pretty good idea about what one of them will be. But it's been a rough day and I'm having a shit night, so let's just cheer Jesse up first and see if we get on to that. Because I don't know if I have the spoons for. I'm just taking my shoes off here. I don't know if I have the spoons for a planning video. Now, I got tea because it's a good drink. I got water because it's an important drink. I have a little Guinness Zero, and that's as a segue to let you know that Nick, starting tomorrow. No, that's the wrong thing to say. Starting Monday, I'll be going into dry week. So next Tuesday, I will be drinking one of these as well, but no whiskey. So I feel that as a way of, you know, celebrating not being on dry week this week, I'm going to have a little bit of this delicious stuff from my friend Paul. Yeah, I had a sentence like ready to go, and it just sort of, and it's gone. But I do want to sort of say hi to who's kicking back with us. I'll just scroll all the way up to the top, and we'll see who's the. Whoops! Oh my land! Stop moving. So interesting. Hi, Paul. It wasn't Country Boy first off the bat this time, but Paul's here, so nice to see you. Paul's got the number one crown at the moment. Number two was Grace. I mean, guys, what's going on here? And then Tenenbaum. I mean, this is not the usual first three friends popping in. I mean, I like how you guys are keeping me on my toes. But anyways, I hope that you guys are all doing well. I hope the weather is okay out in Sweden, Mr. Tenenbaum. And of course, Grace, I hope the weather is good for you down there as well. And Paul, I mean, your weather's the same as mine right now, so I hope you didn't have to shovel too much today or tomorrow. I think there's gonna be more snow tomorrow, right? We got Country Boy popping in as well, saying nonsense. Yay to the nonsense. I also think that nonsense can be helpful from time to time. So tonight we shall dedicate to utter nonsense, and next week we'll talk about future. I do want to say, I get the feeling that we need to do a. I gotta get comfy here. I get the feeling that we need to do a lantern episode pretty soon with our two lantern boyos there. What I have to do every time I have a guest on, or a guest who hasn't been on yet, is a test stream during the week sometime to get sort of the to knock the wrinkles out of the tech, because you guys will remember when I had Dennis from Canoe Hound on a few weeks back now, because it was my first interview using this system. I was completely unprepared for the tech issues that we ran into, and that's why we were late. So when we did the second one with Mike Morton, we did a very quick little private stream. I'm getting an advert. Who else is getting an ad? We did a very quick private stream a couple of days before to make sure it worked. So who else is with us? Should I? Who? I'm going to skip my ads. Can you guys skip the ads? Who got an ad with me there? Destiny saying hi to everyone, and including me, driving home and listening. Okay, that's fine. Fine by me. Okay, it's just all you guys saying hi. What is that? I need to get these glasses changed. How is our Jess tonight? Don't ask, Fitzy. It's not been my best day. Country Boy says, I never stay number one for too long. You're one of the number ones in my heart, mister. Yeah, as soon as Jerry or Christy get here, then I get dumped. I love it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm not sharing these. I want to point out that Mr. Country Boy is a channel mod and a channel hero. Bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, bam. Paul is saying unto Destiny, bonsoir, Destiny. Destiny's probably. Oh my lord, the French. Oh, actually, Destiny's waiting for the pizza and Alfredo to be done. Charcuterie board is smoking tonight. That sounds good. I pulled together an emergency supper of my bang bang chicken tonight, and I think it went quite well. I'm not entirely sure because by the time I was finished making that and getting Clem's lunch ready, I kind of inhaled my supper and ran downstairs. But you know, what else? That recipe is so solid, man. It's so simple and it's so solid, so good, and I have yet to meet anyone who doesn't like it. We got Christy popping in. Christy, who is a channel hero, saying hi to everybody. Everybody. Yeah, yeah. Okay, everyone's saying hi, so I'm going to skip on down a bit. Goody Boy says, see, Destiny pops up and I'm booted. Destiny says, I hope my southern hero gets here tonight and those two instigators, Marcus and David, show up. I also hope. You know, nice crew. Speaking of nice crew, how you doing, Mark? How's the weather down there? I hope it's not too. Like I don't know how cold it would be right now down there, but I hope you're having a good night. Just sort of saying hi. Warm enough. Okay, so there's my answer. Warm enough to get outside today. Cold and snow in the forecast. This morning was cold, but then it warmed up. And like last night, I was shoveling a crap ton of snow, like wearing shorts. It was like maybe -5, -10, something like that. This morning, it was closer to like minus, I don't know, 12, -18 or something. I think it was like -18 this morning because this morning was cold. Then it warmed up. Then I did more shoveling. Not in shorts this time though. Could be in the 80s this week. Aha. Oh god, I hope nobody got that. What a dumbass dad joke. And then she says ridiculous. The timing of that comment is perfect. Country Boy says we got up to 15 on the wet coast. That tracks. Bird is a crisp 4. What are we tonight? Tonight we are 1, and I believe it's sleet. Yes. It's 1 degree and sleet. which means I kind of wish I'd gone and gotten more salt. Oh well, nothing I can do about it now. Oh, nice. Mark biked in a national forest and admired 2 new beaver dams on a stream I have never seen them on before. Well, those beavers, they do tend to engineer their way right the hell across a forest, right? David the Instigator is in here. Hello, fellows and fellowettes. How are you doing tonight, David? I was just talking about you and Marcus. Destiny says, long live the beaver. And every guy in the place goes, yes! Peanut truckers in Nowhere, Nebraska. How's the weather in Nowhere tonight? Yeah, I don't know. It was the computer decided, nope, you know. Yep, I got it worked out. I'm just so tired of like starting a live stream and nothing working, you know, or half this stuff not working. I did at least remember to turn off the Wi-Fi tonight, um, because gotta pull off a win somehow, right? I'll take any win I can. Um, I'm just seeing. Oh, sorry, no, we're Nevada. I'm gonna pour my 0% beer. Oh no, the print is starting to peel off of this glass. Okay, now what? Like, really? Is this how tonight is gonna go? That was weird, right? Hold on, let me try that again. Oh no, look at this. Focus, focus, focus. Whew. This camera is not doing it tonight, man. I don't know what the hell's up with that. Oh. Yeah, we'll hold nothing up again. Country Boy, dry week. What a quitter. I can quit anytime. Destiny's asking one of the more important questions. What's Paul drinking tonight? It's going to be great. Oh, you're having the same thing. Nice. Yeah. Paul and I having a dram together over virtual space. How long does this have to breathe? I think it's 9. No, this is 8 in 8 years. So 8 minutes. And I don't like the way the focus is happening. But we're just going to keep going with it. Yeah, so let me know when it's 8 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Where was Scott? Scott was, you know, dropping the ball or something. He was probably making some cool leather stuff, actually. Homie in the house. How you doing, homie? How's it going? That backpack you showed a few weeks ago, it sort of threw a switch on me. And like last week, we were just talking about backpacks I would love to have. And we'll think about buying next year, maybe. It's funny because I got 2, but that one that you have that sparked this idea in my head is a really nice size for. Let me just check something here, people. Okay, you're just gonna focus on me now. We're good. Are we reset? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's better. Oh, damn you, technology let me down at my hour of need. I'm going to take a sip of tea. Mm. Yeah, Homie Homie's got some cool stuff for sure. Um, oh, Paul's having a. I I think I'm out of rye. I think I'm out of rye. Oh, Paul, did you see that there's an Alberta Premium cast strength like with an age statement on it now that I think I would probably love to get my hands on. But have you seen that yet? Has it been at the SAQ yet? Yeah, I figured Destiny would make that vote for sure. Yeah. Yeah, if I can get David the Instigator and Marcus together, we do a little test stream a day or two ahead of time to make sure the technology works, and then everyone gather your lanterns, and we're just gonna enjoy the warm glow. Destiny's having a Pellegrino on ice. You gotta drink your Pellegrino neat. What the hell are you doing? Oh, holy crap! Austin's Corner in the house. How are you doing? Again, I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope things are well for you down there. I hope you're doing some interesting projects, um, and that life is treating you well. David says I should consider doing a wood stove talk with Russell Weblord and AL. It's not a bad idea as well. I mean, but how are they going to show their? Oh, that's a dumb question. I'm just scrolling. Speaking of Russell, there he bees. What are you drinking tonight, Russell? I told the peeps that starting on Monday, I'm going into dry week next week. So next Tuesday, I will be having this. Well, I'm having one tonight anyway because it's the only beer I have. This is the 0% Guinness, which is a lot better than it sounds. We're in kind of a golden age for de-alcoholized beer. Like, used to be I wouldn't touch this stuff, but there's a whole bunch of mostly like small indies or whatever they're called, boutique, whatever those breweries are, micro. But there's a couple of big guys too who are making de-alcoholized or 0% beer that doesn't suck, which is great. It's just great. Slanja. I mean, is it this exactly the same? No, but it's not bad. David now says that I should consider doing an off-grid cabin camping talk with Russell Christie, Weblord, etc. How many people do you want to see on my screen at the same time, mister? David is doing the God's good works by reminding everyone to hit the thumbs up. I currently see one thumbs up, but as I've told you before, if I don't um, if I don't reload the page, I don't see anything. It's weird. I've already complained about that enough. I've complained about that enough. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. See, shitty day disappears after like 10 minutes of hanging with my homies. Christy got the reference. Oh God. Some of my jokes are just the stuff of legend, just not great legend. Yeah, I am massively behind for sure. But 10 minutes actually. No, I wash it by hand for sure. Absolutely. In fact, I don't even put my Glencairns in the dishwasher. I have lost so many cocktail glasses to that dishwasher that I do all my cocktail and beer glasses by hand now. Boom, 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 boom. This is like that bit from Deconstructing Harry. You're out of focus. Country Boy says, I'm always making leather stuff. Fair enough. Fair enough. Makes sense. Curmudgeon, how you doing? Hello. Hope you're doing good. I wanted to stop in for a few minutes before I start cooking up some grub. What are you cooking tonight? And he's probably already gone. They're probably already gone. Boom, boom, boom. Too close. Bro, too close. Just kidding. Not sure who. Your attempts getting okay. So they're talking about the weather up there in the Alaskas. Okay, David says maybe wait until the end of March when I'm home for the lantern talk. I have no lanterns in Florida. Okay, that's a good point for sure. Hi, good Mike. How are you doing, Mike? How's the weather down there in Florida? Ah, 0% beer. Can't remember to say hi. Am I talking about the 9-year-old golden rye? If not worth it, but there's a 10-year-old cast strength and a cast strength batch 5. It's the 10-year-old cast strength that I was thinking about, and I knew that there was a batch 5 out, but I haven't seen it. What's your? I had batch 2, which I think might, and I had 3, and did I get 4 or did I miss 4? I think I got 4 as well. What's your favorite of them? I never got batch 1, so I cannot comment on it. But I thought batch 2 was great, and like between 2 and 3, they're really similar. I mean, you can tell that they're not the same batch, but they're pretty similar. Man, my alarm system is going crazy. I do not know what's going on. Yeah, I would like to get my hands on that 10-year. I don't know how much it costs. Imagine spaghetti tonight. Okay, legit choice. I like to do my spaghetti with a nice meat sauce, but just a straight tomato sauce is just as good sometimes. I do like to put a whole lot of Parmesan on there, though. You gotta have your cheese, man. Gotta have your cheese. You only have the batch 3. It was good, yeah. That's kind of the only Alberta premium I like. Like their sort of bottom shelf stuff, that comes in the plastic bottle. I'm like, okay. I do kind of wish they'd redesign the bottles for the cast strength, though. I mean, the juice is so good, but the bottle looks like it should be made of plastic. And I just feel that the Alberta premium look and feel is not equal to what the cask strength brings to the table, although it kind of suits the kind of hip flask shape and I think they should really class up that cask strength. Peanut trucker cooking steak, also a good choice. As I said, I made chicken. It was supposed to be Taco Tuesday, but I made my bang bang chicken. Easy as shit, guys. Listen, you take three chicken breasts or whatever, however many you need for your family. Score them in a cross hatch, eighth of an inch in, like eighth of an inch deep, quarter, a half inch apart. Triangles. Sprinkle liberally with paprika. I use smoked paprika, um, onion powder, garlic powder, both sides. Put it aside. Make your marinade. Make your sauce, which is like a cup of mayo, half cup of sweet chili sauce, 2 tablespoons of not sambal oelek, but oh, you can use that too. But the other one with the rooster on it, sriracha. Air fryer 390 for 20 minutes. Like put your breast in, put sauce on. Not all the sauce. Keep half of that to drizzle later. Throw it on a plate with some rice. Or I did. I air fried potatoes. I cubed up some potates, air fried them, and steamed some broccoli. Simple supper. Delish. Delish. Truck is saying you made your 3-day fast. I remember that. Now eat meat and eggs once a day. Definitely feel better and lost weight. Nice. Nice. Meat and eggs once a day. I have a friend who does intermittent fasting, like as a lifestyle choice. I could not, but I am working on like portion sizes and stuff. Somebody just rang my doorbell. So who the hell just rang my doorbell? Am I the only adult here? I'll be right back. Oh, okay. Okay, where were we? Christian says you made a limoncello cream sauce last week for chicken. Came out amazing. I would take that recipe. I have the limoncello. I also have a recipe for making limoncello, but I ain't gonna do it because it takes forever. This recipe will get you limoncello in hours if you have a sous vide, or weeks if you don't. And I'm not good for the stuff that takes weeks. I'm not. I'll forget about it, and or whatever. Uh, so I'm kind of trying to get my hands on the sous vide, but the wife is like, "How many kitchen gadgets do you want to bring into this house?" And I'm like, "All of them." But yeah, I'd love that recipe. Um, just ground beef. Whoops, what the hell? Just ground beef and eggs, steak and eggs, pork chops and eggs. Hello in the house. How you doing? What are you doing? Mm, I'm looking. Yeah, there's the thing. Like I'm not sure. Thanks for doing for I don't know if that's Rob and or Sarah who's talking. So that's why I said hey he before, and I was like, oh wait, no, they. What? I don't know. Um, I need to find one. Yeah, I need to sneak one into my house somehow. Just, everyone's saying hi again. Skipping on by. La 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 la. I like that. You get the same from Sarah, which also tells me who's hanging with us right now. You're gonna try and send an email. Perfect. Excuse me. Or I don't know if you're on the Book of Faces, but I have a page there for Rain Dance Bushcraft, something in Instagram, and the stuff, you know. So yeah, I hold on. Oh, okay. So it's always Rob. All right, perfect. Good to know. All right. It's like sometimes when Charles and Annie are around, um, sometimes I think they're both sitting there having drinks and watching. So I'm never quite sure, and I don't want to make assumptions. Is he making an ass out of you, an assumption? You know. Yep. Um. Hold on a second. Where's my mouse? Oh, sorry. I just saw. There's an excellent book by Dr. Jason Fung on intermittent fasting. Worth a read. But I'm not going to do intermittent fasting though, right? Um, Correction says he'll look for me on Stupid Book. So it's actually really easy to find me because if you just go to my YouTube page, like, you know, my landing page or whatever, I think I have all my links there. He said, and then I was like, do I have all my links there? Just let me go to my channel. Yes, Instagram, Rain Dance on Facebook, Rain Dance on TikTok. Although I don't do anything with with that channel, so don't bother looking for Rain Dance on TikTok. It's not exactly dormant, but it may as well be. I good Mike says Facebook is still around. It sure is. I don't know why. Well, look, I would love to leave it, but there are some people with whom I only have contact that way. You know, so what time are we? We're at 21:33, so it's not quite whiskey time yet. Um, I kind of feel like I had something I wanted to show you guys, but I don't like have no recollection of what it would be. Like none. Was it a tool? No, because I didn't get any tools lately. The only things I've gotten lately are like a journal, a new journal. I don't know, but we're just gonna move right along because it can only be, you know, boring for you guys to watch me being like, what? What? What was that? What was that? What was that? I should probably just do an ASMR channel to get to get the kinks out. Not the kinks, the you know, like to stop doing this to you guys. I'd probably make a mint if I did an ASMR channel. But I mean, my threshold for doing weird stuff kind of ends before that. I mean, if I'm having a rough night, like in terms of trying to get to sleep, sometimes I'll find something ASMR related, and that'll knock me out pretty fast. But you know, I just can't imagine, you know, having two mics on. Hello, it's Jesse ASMR. I have a hard time taking myself seriously just sitting here, or just like doing, you know, whapping on wood with an axe, or you know, doing my whiskey reviews. Like that would be way beyond the pale for me. Uh, Chris has been writing a book for a few years, almost done. Going to put it on the Amazon Kindle and sell it. I support this. I support this. I was just watching. So I have this thing that I kind of feel like the focus is still sort of going. Anyway, whatever. Um, I just watched a video today that was in my watch later. I have this thing in my trackers. I think I've shown you guys my tracker, right? he said, flipping and flipping and flipping. Right. So in my daily trackers, I created one tracker for watch one thing from my watch later list, because I keep adding stuff to that list and then never watching it. So today what I watched was about a writer, a romance writer, about how to quit your job and be a writer. And it's not about writing that first book. It's about like when if you're doing the traditional route, going with a publisher, they're going to say, yeah, okay, but what's your next project as well? And so she's got this whole thing of have your series ready to go and then publish every 90 days kind of thing, or whatever it is. I mean, it's the kind of thing that you can really do easily if you're writing kind of for doing something Harlequin-ish, right? Where it's a kind of formulaic every book. But I watch all this stuff anyway because I really did think as a younger man that I was going to be a writer. I was sure that I was going to be putting out poetry and literature, and then maybe end up as a professor at a university to pay the bills someday. And then I lost 30 years of writing when my hard drive and my backup both failed the same week. I hadn't noticed that the backup was gone. So I would be starting again from zero if I decided to chase that dream again. That was a rough day too. But yeah, let us know when it's out. Hold on. You just Googled it, and it's pretty much the same as mine. You can not put the cheese in and add a pinch more sweets to it and make a good dessert sauce. That would also be really good. I I, I love lemon stuff, lemon sauce, lemon. I even like those donuts with the lemon schmutz inside. I haven't eaten a donut in a really long time, so don't hold me to that. But that like or lemon custard stuff. I like cocktails that have a big lemon element to them. I'm into citrus too. Like I like lime flavors as well. I'm good with orange. I love grapefruit, but I haven't had it in years due to blood pressure meds. Destiny missed what Christy is drinking tonight. I think I did too. I think I did as well. Christy, what are you having tonight? The alcoholized beer, like Jesse? Did Russell tell us what he's drinking tonight? When I was up at Evan Williams, good choice. Good choice. So when I was up at the cabin, this is what came with me. Whoa. Sorry, I hadn't. So this is what came with me. You guys remember I did like that initial review of it. I figured I should probably use it whenever I hit the woods this year so that I can do a follow-up review later. This is not the kind of sheath that I love, I'll tell you. Right, I like leather. But anyways, it's a good knife. It's a good knife. If I was to buy it now, knowing what I know, I would not have spent the extra on this toolkit. This, go away. I don't care about this. I don't know if I'm ever gonna. Well, except like it's got those little sharpening rods in it, so I might. But like the spoon bit, right? I didn't use that once, and I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I ever will. It feels like the toolkit is just a gadget. I mean, I like having a sharpening stone, you know, with the knife, though. I do like that. But even then, like, I mean, it's a Victorinox, right? So of course it's got to have. What do we got here? In my previous meds, I ate all of my nails, so they're not grown back yet. Okay, so yeah, Victorinox. So of course it's got to have the tweezers, right? And then I think it's an awl right next to it. Freaking meds. Is that an awl? Yeah, then an awl. And then over here, tiny, tiny ferro rod that I don't know if I've ever actually used. Never used it. Oh, I didn't even use it while I was doing the review. Oops. Anyways, it was nice to actually get this out into the woods so it can get used in anger. Very capable knife, very, very handy, nice weight to it. I should sharpen it. See how easy it is to sharpen, because what's the steel on this again? 14 C28N 59 HRC. Should just assume that all knives are 59 HRC, 58, 59 at this point. See, I don't like the way it fits into the. There we go. I was just saying that because it's the knife that's right here, because I haven't put it away yet from the trip to the cabin. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hold on a second. Country boy Christy isn't a quitter. Russell is drinking the hate and failure of your enemies. You must have a big vat to drink from. Curmudgeon makes a mean ginger lemongrass reduction for fish and chicken. I think that you make the stuff that I would love to eat. Although, of course, I can't eat fat, oily fish, and I know that Alaska is great for salmon. Having a martini? Fair enough. I have a couple of different martini recipes. Anything ginger lemongrass is fabulous. Grass is fabulous, says Destiny. Excuse me. Paul's asking Christy if it's the white label. I think, Christy, don't you have the black? David is asking Destiny if the pizza's ready. I hope it's ready by now. Yeah, it's the black. Yes, and the Alfredo. Good. Nice to know you're chowing down. Oh, yep. Okay. Okay. Thank you for doing that, because now I don't feel so bad about my stupid 80s joke. Paul hasn't tried the black label. Heard it was good. I've heard good things about Evan Williams as well. Super reasonably priced is a good. Oh no, he's yawning, people. Question says, nice looking blade. I have very few commercially made blades. I have an addiction to custom made ones, even though my bank account says no. I have one custom. I have two. No, I have one bona fide custom blade. Everything else is like, I have one or two that are by small makers. Oh, I have one where the blade was custom made for me, like as a blank. I mean, it came perfectly sharp and everything, but I made the handle for it myself. It's the knife I handled for Cody. That was years ago now. Bet us have an orange juice. Country boy says, "Don't use a knife in anger unless you want to take a trip to jail or the hospital." You know what I'm talking about. Oops. But yeah, curmudgeon. It's just weird because like Victorinox to me is like the Swiss Army knife company, and I've been sort of passively looking at getting another Swiss Army knife too, because the one that I had from when I was a kid, it gone, it gone. Um, so I'd kind of like to have one for, well, because it's depending on the tools it comes with, it's the perfect format. You said yawning. It's the perfect format for a multi-tool, in my opinion. Like the whole sort of Leatherman and all that stuff. I mean, great tools, but it does not have the elegance of use or elegance of carry that the Victorinox Swiss Army knives do. Nothing like that. That's true. I was sort of like I was trying to backpedal while I was saying that, but like I have one knife that I ordered and a maker made for me, and in fact, it was in 2013. I think it was my first bushcraft knife. Are you guys seeing my focus like blur and then come back, or do I just really need new glasses? Because I know that I need new glasses, but oh, sorry, 2147. We're almost in the second half, people, peeps. There's a setup I would love to have for these live streams. I think I've talked about this before. I would love to have a bar fridge right under this desk right here. So that if like curmudgeon says, yeah, I'm having a martini, I can be like, I can do that. And like reach into into this fridge, have some vermouth in there, have like a little bar cart right here. Um, so that I can, make a drink every now and again while we're live streaming. Would it take the place of my phone live streams up in the kitchen? No, because those are actual bona fide cocktail streams. But it would be nice to be like, oh, you're having a martini? Excuse me while I. Boop. It was weird, right? Focus is fine now. Okay, so maybe it really is. Oh, nothing happening here. Just move right along. How long can he do this before everyone gets bored and falls asleep? That's a remarkable difference. Christy loves a good martini. Beto says, here in southern Brazil, traditionally the gauchos carried a knife at their waist. It was part of the typical attire. Nowadays, this is only seen in rural areas. So it's funny, like stuff like that. Um, it's sad to see that kind of thing disappear. Like at one point in Sweden, you weren't a man if you weren't carrying like a Mora knife, and Sloyd was taught in schools and stuff. And I think in most countries it's becoming a little rare to see a knife on someone's belt in like polite society. Um, but it's look, they're useful tools, especially if you're out riding horses and doing stuff like that, or if you're in Stockholm and you suddenly see a stick that absolutely needs to be carved into a spoon. Did I say hi to Steve? Because I saw Stephen Grounds popping in. You watching on the TV tonight? Santa's gifts for Jesse 2026. Bar fridge, sous vide, that knife, that backpack. So I have kind of this not a fear, but this, like, I don't want to receive stuff for Christmas that is not something I see a use case for. Like, I have this purchases list, right? It's stuff that it's a to buy list, okay? And I don't know why I didn't show it to my wife as like a Christmas list. Well, I do know because the stuff I want is expensive. It's, here's a pen that's $200. Here's a backpack that's $400 kind of thing. So I kind of would rather just say, okay, listen, look at all this stuff. I know it's expensive. Give me a little money towards one of them and tell me which one, you know? Oh, in fact, I should probably scratch one of these things off the list because I got something cool this week, but mildly frustrating. I got this. Bought it for myself for Christmas because it was on my purchase list, but I wasn't, it was too shy to ask anyone for it. But process stuff like this is really good for sort of calming down the demons. So I really wanted to try it. And I'd seen ads for them everywhere. And I was like, is this a scam or are they actually really good? And I was just like, look, I'm giving myself until the end of 2025 to spend a little money. So I bought it. And now I'm in the no spend 2026. But it takes a while. And so here's where I am so far. I'm gonna have to just glue that part on, I think. Is it perfect? No. I mean, these things never are. But I have tolerance for that. So long as nothing's broken, like I have tolerance for things being a little loose because I've got glue in this house of mine. But the wiring gave me heartburn. And it ain't even finished yet. And I know there's gonna be a short. I know it because that's the kind of luck I have. But stuff like that, like I just zen right out. So yeah, it was expensive. I mean, but Boxing Day sales and stuff. But I would buy another one of those again in a Montreal minute. I think. Well, let me finish it. That's why I love Lego so much. Okay. I didn't have Lego as a kid, right? I am still discovering Lego with my kids. Yeah, little process things like that. Like I don't know why I'm not building model kits. I do know I'm not building model kits because I used to build them as a kid, but could never afford all the paints and stuff to make them look really sweet. And so that's still kind of like the flavor that model kits have for me. But yeah, little process things because what can happen is like I'll start working on these little things, provided like if there's a short in those LEDs, I'm just going to leave it because I don't have electric skills. I'm no good. Well, I don't even know if I'm any good with a soldering iron. I've never tried it before. But like I figured I would do a little bit of that thing, and an hour just disappeared, right? Because I just boom, and the world just goes away, and all the noise just gone, gone, and it's just me loving life, working on this dumb little thing and, humming happily to myself, which is something that Clemence also does. She hums happily when she's doing something that's taking her attention. Um, Apparently, somebody had an ad. Let me just scroll on back. Scroll on back. We got 2156. Oh, time to pour that there beverage. It's okay. I mean, I kind of feel that once the bottle's been open for a while and it's sort of handling the oxidization itself, that maybe that minute in the glass per year in the cask thing doesn't count as much, or isn't as quite as important. I still do it for the formality, um, for the system. 4 minutes, man. Leave it alone. So yeah, Fitzy, I don't have a bar fridge on my list. Um, Sorry, I don't have a bar fridge on my list. That's for sure. But I do have a few things. Um, Curmudgeon has at least 2 blades on him daily. Custom folder made by a friend in Maine. And your custom bushcraft knife stays on my back. Scout carrier style. I don't have anything. I don't have anything scout carry. Part of me fears like trying to slide the knife back in there. Like, how do you guide it in so that you don't catch your shirt or slice the sheath or something? Like, I love the idea of scout carry. I love the look of it on someone's belt. But I've never, I don't know if I'd be able to do it without slicing the sheath. Oh, Christy did tell me. Sorry. I was a little late again, I see. I'm a little late. It's not that big. In Iowa, they wear pliers in a holder on their belt. Not spending much right now as you're ordering a new diesel generator this Friday. Then need to order a few more. You know what? You just reminded me. Speaking of batteries, so this was in my Wii flashlight, and I hadn't charged it up in so long because I couldn't find the charging cable until recently that this battery will not charge anymore. Will not charge anymore. And so I was like, that's okay because I have others, but they won't charge anymore either for the same reason. Um, so I was looking to buy one on Amazon, but you can only buy them in like packs of 8 or something. And I need one. I need one, and I need to add a note to my calendar that I charge everything up every 3 months. Because remember, I lost the battery in that power station that I reviewed like last year. I need to just remind myself, charge everything up every 3 months, no matter what. Plug it all in, you know? Because I killed all these batteries, and now I'm trying to buy one or two because I don't want to end up with a crap ton of extra ones. Yeah. So like, I just I default to thinking that everything I see in a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad or a TikTok ad is a scam, right? I have an ad. Who else has an ad? Um, where was I? Like, I just default to it all just being scams. I figured I would take a chance, and it's a nice, like, I don't know if they're worth $150 Canadian kind of thing, but I'm enjoying it, and the way I see it, if you get enjoyment out of something, it was worth the money, you know. But yeah, so I mean, I'll let you know once it's built, and then once I've plugged it in and see if the lights work at all, you know. Yes. Why am I extending your downtime? Um, not necessarily. Okay, I'll do it for tonight, but like it's 10, right? 10 means something. Excuse me, people. The bratling needs me to do something. No. Yeah. Okay. David the Instigator, reading an excellent book Pam got me for Xmas till we meet again about a Canadian soldier in World War One. World War One is definitely my jam. I have a 2-volume book set, I guess, about the Canadian Army in World War One called. I'm just seeing if it's over on my bookshelf there. No, I think it's in the other room. I don't want to step off screen again. But it was a very good read. It went deep into how General Curry was nowhere near the monster that um, he was made out to be after the war. How he was innovative in terms of coming up with that idea of the creeping barrage right ahead of your advancing troops and all that stuff. British soldiers used to try to get Canadian tunics because they were better made, and you could tell the difference between one of them. Tell the difference between the two because the one had 5 buttons and one had 6. I think the British one had 6 buttons. Went a little bit into the Ross rifle. Okay, so if I don't talk about boomsticks. If I were to talk about boomsticks on screen ever, I would tell you guys that my dream boomstick would be a all original, non-sporterized Lee Enfield, the one from the Second World War, not the first. If I did. Anyways, moving right along. It's a good series, but yeah, when I was working at Reader's Digest, I worked with a historian, and his jam was World War II. Um, it's weird to say your jam is a war. That didn't come out the way like because I'm not like into war. But what I mean is, I find that the First World War is very, very interesting because the world fundamentally changed the way it didn't quite in the Second World War. Like armies still fought on horseback fairly often before the First World War. I mean, the French army entered that war still wearing the French army colors, right? Blue tunic, red pants, jaunty cap. Just to tell you, like how little some of the large imperial armies. Okay, French was not an imperial army, but the British was. The Ottoman Empire was still around. Um, there was Austro-Hungary. There was the Russian. I mean, imperial armies, horses, swords, then machine guns, horses, swords, gone. You know, whereas at the Second World War, it was already like war was already industrialized. You know, so it wasn't as killed a lot more people, but wasn't as earth shaking in terms of transitioning truly from the old war culture to the new one. You know, and also another big difference was the First World War German army could really take a punch, whereas the Second World War German army, once it started going bad, it there was no the way they were going to win. They could not really take a punch. They were great at like boom grab, but once it got hard, you know, they just they weren't the quality that the First World War army was at all. And they demonstrably deserved to get their asses kicked more than the First World War German army did. I don't know why. Cool. That Millennium Falcon, I mean the big one. The one that when I first said I want that, it was like 899 and is now like 1020 or 1013 or something. So the idea of spending $1,000 on Lego is I'd do it. I mean, if I was independently wealthy, I would totally buy it because I could see myself disappearing into it for weeks and just loving life. Just like my world becomes little bricks and all the shit that I live in gone, you know? Miniature house items, Ernestine journals, a decent hammock. No, I have a decent hammock. I have a very good hammock. I have a Hennessy hammock, the Safari? No, classic thing something ASIM zip stuff. I don't remember what it's called, and they don't make that specific model anymore. What I would like for it though is an underquilt, because when I was camping on Russell's land, the stupid little pad that I got for inside, nope. But they make an underquilt for it that I would love to get for next time I'm camping in like that September October transition period. I wish you guys could taste this. I mean, I am so glad I have this. I'm so glad I have this, friend, Mr. Paul. That's a very good bourbon stand-in. It's even got like the peanutty thing to it. Yeah, I would like a decent. I have a great tent, but I want a winter tent. I want a canvas winter tent, 10 by 10. The Esker Classic 2 is what I'm really focusing in on. I mean, I know what Mike Morton said about getting the snow tracker, but that's a level of money I cannot spend. That's an extra $1,000 kind of thing. But yeah, that canvas tent for sure. Um, Country Boy loved building model cars. It was expensive when we didn't have money, but having something to build kept me out of trouble. So my parents would help me pay for the expensive paints. So if I was to take up model building again, like I don't think I would do it full time or anything. I don't have enough shelves. But part of me wants to do like Star Wars ships, but part of me wants to do a Land Rover, like the Defender, like the 140 or the 120 or the 140, like the four door because my dream car. I've always wanted that era of Land Rover Defender, you know. Preferably like the last model that had the little flippies under the windows in front. But the model right after that would work as well. That actually had AC in it. But it's the magic of those old Land Rovers, not the freaking Discovery or the Range Rover, because the Discovery was based on the Range Rover, so it doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same Africa-ness to it, I guess. like seeing one doesn't make me imagine being in the savannah, while was it Born Free plays over the air as my personal theme song kind of thing. But just the design of those old ones. I like the new Defender. I do. I wouldn't buy one because it's like Jeeps. I love them too, but I wouldn't buy them anymore because they're all shite, you know. Um, but those old ones, man, though they get me where I live. They really do. Yeah. But yeah, like I would build one of those for sure. You know. Don't forget the canoe. Absolutely. I have the exact model I want picked out. Oh, so it's just memory retention. So I guess you just train yourself almost like a muscle memory thing. Jim, heading home. Howdy. How you doing, Mr. Jim? The canoe as well. I showed you guys the exact canoe, right? Really? I will contact Olight then. Thanks for that. Just let me launch the Olight page so that I remember. Official store. Okay, I got it open. So now I'll. Whoa! What is this? The Arc Pro series? No, I don't need a pen. I have pens. Anyways, I only do matte fountain pens. Go away, Olight. I don't want the O pen. This Pro series, though, holy snap! What I like about these, when I was in the Royal Canadian Air Cadets at like basic training and on bush schemes and stuff, we had these old school military flashlights that are like comes up and then it just sort of like 90 degrees, so you could I guess put it in your rucksack strap kind of thing and have it shining. And I would love a modern version of that. I don't mean it has to be huge. I mean a little one, whatever, but that does that 90 degrees thing. I would love that. I would stick it in a pocket. And this kind of does that, sort of. Fudge, they are expensive. I'm not spending 179 bucks. At least that's the Canadian price on a flashlight, Holmes. Actually, what is it? Yes. No, I'm gonna share the screen because I'm looking at something and being all like verklempt. What the hell? And you guys don't even know what I'm looking at. So hold on. Screen. Yes. Allow. Why do you keep doing that? Share this window. Yes. Yes. Show on stream. Yes. So like, look at this. Oh, okay. It's weird. Oh, that's a UV light. What? Pure flood, yeah. Spotlight, 20 meters. Meters. Spelled the wrong way, I see. Color coded indicators. But like 170, 180 bucks? Like, how big is this? Like, I need to see this in somebody's hand. Oh, they developed their own LED. My God, I'm so impressed. Individual green beam button, great. Green beam and UV light, great, I guess. Green beam and pure flood, okay, but I mean, okay, it's really hot, but I mean, oh my gosh, especially in the orange. But you're not showing me pictures of the orange? You don't want me to love it? Okay, nope. Forget about it. Going away. But yeah, I'll ping them and ask about the battery. Did a video for them a bit back and they were so happy they sent you 4 more. That's the nice thing about having like a lot more viewers than I do. 10 o'clock, time to drink. Hmm. So I'm 16 minutes late now. David has the same one that Russell did the video about. What? Ray lost one of your O-lights under a cottage on an island near Parry Sound. How did he do that? Destiny pops in as soon as Ray's name is mentioned. It's okay. David says, so was that the same trip where you crashed his drone? Well, if that's the same trip, then I think maybe Russell got off easy. I felt really bad about that, but Ray has crashed it again since then, so I don't feel so bad. Fair enough. Now we don't talk about boomsticks on the channel, but offline, I would love to see pictures of that. I love old stuff. Uh, Anyone having an ad right now? Am I having an ad right now? No. Ah, excuse me. David says, time for some cheese. I back that concept. I do love me some cheese. Disney says, is the ripped calf gladiator okay? That's all that matters. Russell Rejoinder is. Goodness, that's a title. That is definitely a title. Absolutely. Fabulous. Fabulous gifts. Thank you much. Thank you so much. Tack så mycket, as they say in Swedish, and as I am learning to say in Swedish. Yeah, I don't know where Al is either. He's not always around anymore. I think maybe he's doing vacations and cruises and camping. Oh my. He says you can buy that U.S. military flashlight, surplus flashlight on eBay for 25 USD. Yeah, and I can pick it up also at some of the army surpluses here in town. But the only reason why I like that one is for like reminiscence value. It's not what I would use. I just want that 90 degrees. I would love it in an LED, something smaller that I can afford, you know, runs on something like this instead of those big honking batteries. Uh, you know, I don't need the original one any more than, you know, I need. Well, I already have those old combats, so why would I even? I don't know. My example fell apart as I was about to say it, so never mind. Oh, Jess King, how are you doing? How is the weather in Japan tonight? I gotta I gotta see Japan one day. I gotta see Japan, and I gotta order a cocktail at Bar Benfitic in in Tokyo. I've caught up, peoples. I have caught up. No, I haven't. Yes, I have caught up. We're good. We're great. We're fabulous. I really wish I had cheese now that David's gone and frickin' mentioned it. Thanks, mister. I wonder if Olight has one of those 90-degree things. Little flashlight. Oh my snap! They have an Arc Pro. They have an Arc Pro Ultra. Oh, the Arc Pro is 150. The Arc Pro Ultra, whatever, and then there's an Arc Pro Lite for $110. Still, I do not care. Excuse me. Hot, new, hot, hot, hot. What? Everyday carry. Or would that be a tactical light? David says, provolone for the win. Chrissy says, go grab some cheese or have Cody get you some since you extended her time. She's already upstairs. I will go and get a piece of cheese to walk amongst yourselves. I may have gotten more than one piece of cheese. I may have gotten 4. Baby Bun Bell. Mini Baby Bell. I don't even think they do Bun Bell anymore. Christy says, Wheel of Brie. I have some brie up there, but I wanted something that was quick to grab. Listen to Chrissy Jess, you need some fromage, says Destiny. I'm in agreement with you. Russell says, I need to do a no cheese week. Are you kidding me? Art thou kidding me? You know what I would love to do as a channel? I would love to do a medieval cooking channel. Like, you know how Townsend's kind of has the market cornered on like 18th century cooking, and they've got that, you know, their set is like this 18th century style kitchen. I mean, it's a set. It's not a real kitchen. I mean, it's a real kitchen, but I mean, they built the kitchen for the videos. It's not part of an ancient house. I'd love to do something like that for like 14th century cooking. Making small beer and stuff like that. Making chickens in the medieval way. Maybe some wild boar, some game meat recipes. Max, what's his name? Max Miller in Tasting History. He does a lot of that kind of stuff, but he also does like Roman recipes and stuff like that. But in a modern kitchen. Now, I respect what he does. I like what he does. I watch a lot of his stuff, and I love how he does the work of modernizing the measures. Because some medieval recipes I'm looking at is, I have no idea what that measure would be today, kind of thing. Maybe make cheese on one episode. I had to bring it back to cheese, right? So good. Yeah, I'll go cheese. I'll do a no cheese week when Russell does a no nacho week. Legit. Was that too legit? Too legit to quit? I just date myself. Aged cheddar. Because I have an 8-year whiskey, I may as well have a 2-year cheddar because, you know, aged statements are good. Age statements are the where it's at, man. Age statements city. I can't get this frickin' cheese open. Ah, there we go. There we go. This is so boring. Plant-based cheese, right? Says David. I have never had plant-based cheese. Baby Bell makes a plant-based cheese. Russell says, I actually asked ChatGPT about the nutritional quality of my nachos after describing all the ingredients. You'll never guess what the worst part of the meal is. It's probably the cheese, actually. What is it? Okay. I wouldn't have guessed that, but makes sense. Christy, looking out for our boy. So the prompt for tonight's journal entry that I came across is I have a list of journaling prompts. I bought this Hobonichi to use like as a journal rather than as a planner because I have you guys saw my Jibun Techo, right? This guy here, which I use as a planner. Right. I think I've shown you guys what like my planning and everything. I bought this Hobonichi. It's also technically a planner, but instead I just use it for my musings on the day. Why was I telling you this? Oh, because I downloaded a list of prompts, and the prompt for tonight, will be what has become too expensive, and I'm gonna say whiskey. I was like, this is a perfect prompt for me because I hate how expensive some whiskey has become. There are still some stonking deals out there, but some of my favorite whiskey makers have gone they've gone hardcore into sort of the aspirational nature that whiskey is taking on, and bubble's starting to burst a bit, so some of these distilleries might actually close, but yeah, I hate how everything is becoming expensive though. Like, I told you guys that the index case for me was always that Benchmade, I think. The Osborne knife, was it 914? Is that what it is? That, hold on. Am I right? 940. What? Go away. This was one of those where when I first was like, I want one of those, it was like 280 Canadian, no, it was less than that. It's like it's just too expensive right now. When I'm in a more stable job situation and I've got more money, I'll buy one. But like as time went on, and I kept sort of saying, "I'm almost there. I'm almost there." The prices kept going up to like 450. Nope. Carbon fiber, it's 525. I wouldn't want the carbon fiber though, right? Um, so the G10 handle. No, no, no. Like that's the one. The anodized aluminum handle. You know. Wow, that's hot. But whoa, that's hot too. Not so much. But like the original, right? Original blade shape, original blah blah. But it's 450 now. I'm not spending that on a knife that, let's face it, Canadian. What are they called? The Border Services Agency. They're blocking a lot of folders. Anything that can open by certain methods, they just stop. Um, it's just crazy to me what things cost now compared to what they cost like just 10 years ago. Hold on. I'm just scrolling back a little. Okay. Jess King is out. Have a good day because you're on the opposite side of the world to me. So you're probably heading out to start your day. Have a good one. Russell says the second worst part is, do you do sour cream? That might be it. Jim says, time for a beer or three. I support you. She says, is the second worst thing actually on the nachos? She's checking before guessing. No, the second worst thing is the big dollop of sour cream I add. Okay. I do like sour cream though. Oh, Mark's out as well. Good night. See you next Tuesday. Oh yeah, cheese charcuterie Books Fest. Yeah. Bum, 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 boom. That knife, yeah, it's legal. I mean, if you buy it from a Canadian distributor, you can buy it. Um, it's just they're a little overzealous at the border. I don't even know why I like that pocket knife so much. There's just something about it that makes me. S30V stainless steel. You can customize it. I wouldn't. I don't care. I don't need to customize it. I think we should go a little customization. Um, a little customization crazy sometimes. Oh, did something happen, Fitzy? Okay, I'm back. Oh, I guess I disappeared for a moment. Maybe it was when I was trying to share the screen. And at the end of the day, I have a pocket knife. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's something about that I'm like, oh, I really want that, but I'm not gonna die if I don't get it. It's the kind of thing where I would be like online, like put that in my basket, and then like wait, let's come back at this 24 hours from now and see if I still really want it then, or if the $450 price tag is like, we're gonna stop, and it would stop, and I would just go into the wish list instead. That's what my wish lists are for. That's what my wish lists are for. Paul, if you're still here, what do you think I should get as a rye next? As you know, I'm buying. I'm not buying from our friends in the south, but there's a lot of great rye being made up here. I think I should get another Alberta Premium cask if I find it. David says unto me, check my iMessages on my phone. Like now or later? Can I show this? Can I show this, David, the instigator? Phone. On my phone. Oh, it doesn't have your name on it. So, yeah, I'll show it. I mean, it's not the same. Oh, come on. All right, whatever. That's a pretty nice knife, too. That looks bigger, though. How big is that? How big is that? That's what she said. Ah, shut up. Christy, can you get bullet here? Not anymore. I mean, we could before, but Quebec apparently just sort of had a sale where they sold off all the American booze that they were storing. A couple of provinces all did that around the same time, and most of them sort of gave the money to charity. But yeah, I used to be able to, but we're probably not gonna see bullet here for a long time. Paul, I'm gonna pour a little bit more of that, just a little, just a wee little bit, just a wee touch. I'm embarrassed to say that I liked that Scarabus so much. I shared it out. I shared it with a few friends, not too much, but that bottle's practically gone. It was so good. It was like every time I was reaching for like a little nightcap, that was the one. I'm gonna miss that bottle. Damn you for showing me that bottle. I'm gonna miss it so much. Like that was fast. I don't usually drink a bottle down that fast. It usually takes me weeks and weeks and weeks. Oh, Paul, I've had a Last Straw rye, and I liked it. I liked it. I find it's hard to get. John Sleeman and Sons rye. Okay, all right. So I will take a look either for another Alberta Premium cask or John Sleeman and Sons. See what I can find. Because I used to have like, I think I still have Rittenhouse. I used to have what's it called, Wheelhouse. I think I had a whole bunch of different. I even think that the is it Crown Royal makes a Northern Harvest rye. I'm shocked at how much I hate. I didn't hate that. That was probably the best. I think it was a Crown Royal, wasn't it? So much better than the bottle shape would have made me think. Oh, Lot 40 Dark Oak. I would love to try that. Absolutely. David says 9 inches long total with 3.5-inch blade is a drop blade. Yeah, there's no way. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I wish we would go back to being a culture that just carried a pocket knife in your pocket. Um, not as a cool thing, not as a, you know, jets kind of thing, but just because it's a good tool to have in so many contexts. Like how often, even you get an Amazon package and then you're digging through the kitchen for a pair of scissors, whereas a generation ago you just take the pocket knife out of your pocket and open the damn box. That's just the most pedestrian situation I can think of. Paul says that the Crown Royal Harvest rye is decent. Yeah, and the thing is, I was impressed by that because I actively dislike Crown Royal. You have not tried the Crown Royal rye yet, Christy. It's very good for the price point for sure. Like I actively dislike Crown Royal. I don't know if I can I backpedal that a bit. I don't think I actively dislike Crown Royal as much as now that I know more about whiskey, I have parceled Crown Royal off to a part of the shelf that I don't reach for. Like, it's the whiskey analog to like getting a Labatt 50 instead of even a Guinness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I see Crown Royal. So when I was like, I hear this Northern Harvest rye is pretty good. All right, I'll try it. And I was very pleasantly surprised. Now, would I take that over like the Alberta Premium Cask? No, no, or even the standard Lot 40? No. Um, but like, I wouldn't hate seeing it on somebody's bar cart. Really? Don't show me that. I'm not spending this year. I cannot spend this year. My money is absolutely tied up elsewhere. But oh wow, I'm gonna hate missing that price for that. The salted caramel is crypto. What? Never even heard of that. I don't tend to do flavored booze, so I never even heard about it. I do love salted caramel, though. I will tell you, if I had a bottle of that, I would come up with a cocktail so fast. Crispy says, I use Crown Royal in whiskey sours, but I'm going to have to pick up a bottle of the rye to try. I could see Crown Royal being okay in a whiskey sour for sure. Yeah. Um, like there's a lot of whiskey cocktails where I want the bourbon flavor, and then there are others where I just really want the rye flavor. And sometimes like I don't really know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, what I was going to say is yeah. So like Crown would go really well in a whiskey sour, I think, but I wouldn't necessarily use it for an old fashioned, because I don't think it's good enough. Because in an old fashioned, if your whiskey ain't great, it can't hide behind anything. Because all it is like the whiskey, bitters, a sugar cube if you're a classicist like me, or simple syrup if you're a philistine, um, and then one big block and a squeeze of orange, right? So there's nothing for the whiskey to hide behind in something like an old fashioned, which is, by the way, part of the reason why when I try out a new bar, the first thing I order is the old fashioned, right? And if I get like a glass that's full of that ice that not even really cubes, and I see them throwing a simple syrup in, free pouring the whiskey, I'm like, I may not order anything expensive here. Yeah, I may stick with the beer. Jim sent me a picture on the Court of Dis. Is this a picture I'm going to want to share? Can I share it, mister? Mister, can I share this picture, mister? Where is that picture? Pics. Oh, I'm not going to show that, but I will definitely look at it. A lot of them were sporterized because at the end of the day, it does make more sense for the purpose it is now being used for as a sporterized thing that I don't tend to talk about. The reason I want the non-sporterized is because that's the first thing I ever um, held and pressed buttons on. Let's talk about this later, okay? But yeah, it's the reminiscence and the classicist in me who wants the unsporterized for the historicity, for the memories of myself as a teenager learning that art for the first time. Moving right along because I have no idea how to not turn this into a pew pew discussion otherwise. Um, oh, now you tell me it's pew pews. Hold on. Let me go back. Yeah, not an old fashioned. I wouldn't use it in old fashioned for sure. No way. Simple syrup, heathens. I mean, I have certain, I have some simple syrups that I've made for certain things, but for to me, an old fashioned, it's got to be a sugar cube. Rebel, hey, Rebel with an O. Double wood's fine for the first shots. Anything after a good moonshine will do. Well, I guess you're right about that. Like, it's the same with wine, right? You always start with your most expensive wine. If you're having an evening with friends and having glasses of wine, start with the good one, because by the time you get past that bottle, nobody really cares about how good the next bottle is, and then really nobody cares what the third bottle is. But yeah, for sure. Paul needs to go to the LCBO and pick up a bottle of Beaver's Dram Canadian Premium Wheat Whiskey. Is it expensive? I need to slip to the LCBO in Hawkesbury, see what I can get. Actually, I wish it was a better LCBO. Like, I wish there was a huge one there. Christy says, I also try an old fashioned at a new bar every time, and then I will try Manhattan sometimes, but definitely an old fashioned. Oh, actually, Manhattan's a good way to judge a bar too, I think. I think you're right about that. Manhattan's definitely, I mean, there's more happening there, right? The reason I do the old fashioned is for the reason I said, like, ain't nothing hiding the whiskey in that. But yeah. Oh, $50. Yeah. At $50, you're almost spending more on gas than you are on whiskey. The 303 British is to Canada what the 30-06 is to the United States. And then I'm moving right the hell along. Not going to do it. Not going to continue that conversation. In the same way as the canoe is to Canada what the covered wagon is to the United States, like there are certain things that were foundational to the countries we live in today. Some things foundational in terms of canoe versus covered wagon, like being old school. Um, some things being more foundational to what um, outdoors culture is right now, in which case 303 versus 30-06. Um, in the same way as like the Nesmith or the Kephart knives, right, are like, if you look at them, it's like that is an American knife. It's Americana. We've been trained to see them as like two of the sort of foundational, seminal, as I would say if I knew that Russell was still here, American bush knives. Whereas up here, it's the Groman, right? What you would sometimes see called the Canadian belt knife, right? I mean, that takes the same place, and it's a much younger design, right? I think it's from the 50s, but that design was arrived at through massive iterations, working with hunters and trappers, like getting examples into the hands of guys doing the work out in the woods and getting their feedback. Which is why, even though it looks so weird, it feels so good in the hand. It's so perfect. Um, and it's funny because it's a line on a map, but the history is so different on either side of that. Some would call imaginary line. Boom, boom. Hawkesbury, population of 10. That's about it. Yeah. Country Boy says, I don't go to bars. There's people there. Ick. I very rarely go as well. Um, I went recently to one with Paul downtown, but I haven't been to a bar that I wasn't playing at in months. Homie is going shopping soon. I'm moving on. But yeah. Um, so that was a tangent, but it was actually a tangent related to the content of my channel. So hey, yay, win. I could use more cheese. Oh my land, we're at 22:51. Can you guys think of any other things that are like this is Canadiana versus this is Americana? Like I mean, I don't mean silly things like the ceinture fléchée, whatever, what you know, the voyageur belt. I mean like something big ticket, like the canoe and the covered wagon, the Kephart or the Nesmik and the Groman, the 303 versus the 30-06. The I'm trying to think of something else. Yeah, like the horse was foundational to both countries. There's no real difference there. I mean, cowboy culture was alive on the Canadian prairies as much as it was in the United States, though even back then the pew pew thing was different up here, even way back then. I'm trying to think of something else. Mm. You guys are having a great conversation, but I'm not showing it on, like, I'm not bringing that up on screen. I have sold many things that I later regretted because I was strapped for cash at the time. I had a Gibson Thunderbird bass from like 1982. It was my first really good bass. I spent an entire summer working illustrating books at the Jewish Education Council's Talam program to make up to make the money to buy that bass off the wall at a local secondhand place. I was like, please still be there by the end of summer. And by the end of summer, I walked in there with $900, and the bass was 1,200. And I said, I'll give you 900 now. And the guy said, what? And I said, in cash. And as soon as you take cash out and put it on the table, they know you're not just jerking them around, right? And he was like, I have to call the owner because it was there on consignment. I said, sure, I'll stand right here. And like as a guy with massive social anxiety and a tendency to just roll over, I guess it was important to me because I was like, I'm leaving with that base today, and I know I only have $900. And the guy went and he couldn't get in touch with the person who was selling it, and he came back and he's like, I said, the money's here now. It won't be here tomorrow. He's like, so he worked out and he said, okay, with taxes. I said, no, I have $900. And so like this guy had tears in his eyes. But I walked out with a 1982 Gibson Thunderbird bass, original case, heavy as hell. And I was in a heavy metal band at the time. I played it in that. Went great. Cool bass. It was long and it was lean. Named it after a girl that I knew in Sejeb. Not new in the biblical sense, but would have liked to because she was long and lean as well. And I just, man, but I sold it to pay bills years later. And I don't play 4 string anymore. I play exclusively 5 string bass. But because of the way I sold that one, because it wasn't, I didn't sell it because I didn't play 4 string anymore. I didn't sell it to see because it wasn't getting any play time. So get it to someone who will play it and love it. Because of the way I sold it, because I was like, I need to pay my bills. part of me would still buy that base back today if I had the opportunity. Because the context of the way you sell something on can really, really relate it. If I came across a complete Transformers Jetfire and I had a bunch of money, I would buy it immediately. Because when I was kid, early teens, kid upstairs snuck into my house and stole a lot of my Transformers, and that Jetfire was my crown jewel. And I'm 53 now, and if I had an opportunity to rebuy that Jetfire and could afford it, in a Montreal minute. My old Millennium Falcon from whatever it was, 1982, 1979, whatever, if I had an opportunity, in a Montreal minute for the same reason. Like the stuff that I gave up before I was ready to, what would I do with a fucking Millennium Falcon? I tell you, I would hang it off the ceiling, right? I would put it on I would like mount it to the wall, kind of I would do, like, I wouldn't play with the damn thing. I don't want the toy with Jetfire. I wouldn't be like, oh, no. I would look at it and think, yeah, I got you back. That's what I would do. And they're expensive. I can't do these things. But like the way you sell something on, and I'm going from a conversation from a comment that I'm not putting on screen because it's related to something I don't talk about on my channel. But yeah, if you sell something on because you're cash strapped, part of you is always going to want that thing back, right? Part of you is always going to be like, I really wish I hadn't done that. And at the time, you have to do it. But that's the thing, you're doing it out of necessity, not out of being ready. It's a big change. It's a big difference. Sold my car to buy a wedding ring. Wish I still had the car. Triumph Spitfire and British Racing Green. Oh, yep. Oh, David's out. Close enough to 11. Good night. Russell says that Jetfire story is classic Jess because it still stings because of the way it disappeared. Because I didn't just put it in a box and forget about it, you know? You friends stay right here until the end. We need to talk con. We need to do that con night for sure. Country Boy does not like the idea of selling a beloved car for a wedding ring. I think a lot of people would think the same way. Christy's out. Okay, good night, everyone. I hope you all had a great rest of the week. Love to all. See you next Tuesday, Christy. But we are at 22:59, so I guess it's time to shut this thing down, and I got to get ready for bed. I will not be able to talk con on Discord, but I really think we should do the con night soon. I really do. Not this weekend because I'm gigging at Hurley's Pub in beautiful downtown Montreal, but soon. So between now and then, yeah, one more little sip. Between now and next Tuesday, when we will in fact plan my upcoming interviews and panel discussions. Everybody, have a good night and have a good week. And between now and then, please be healthy, be happy, be safe, and be kind to one another. Good night, everyone.